Ooh, I got one viewer. Look at that. Concurrent viewers was 1. Now it's 0. We'll wait until we get at least one person in here because I talk to myself enough throughout the day, given that I work remotely. So, hey, I got a viewer. Look at that. The interesting thing is, as much as I figured out how to use this live stream, one of the things I did not figure out was to actually see who my viewers are. So I have no clue, as people come in here, how to view who it is that's actually tuned in. Actually, I could probably figure that out super quick. I wish I could do this without... Yeah, without... Actually, I can... I got this. So, live streaming, for those that are unfamiliar, live streaming is not as straightforward as I thought it was going to be. I thought that when you live streamed on YouTube, okay, cool. So this is coming up in my studio here. So I thought that when you live streamed on YouTube, they actually hooked you up with the software to be able to share your screen, share a video, share your camera, whatever. They don't. So you actually have to use third-party software. So thank you to everybody on Twitter who helped me out with that. I'm not as, for somebody who's in the fintech space and loves cryptocurrencies as much as I do, I'm not very technologically savvy when it comes to that stuff, so definitely appreciate the help. What's up, Drew? So I finally can see the live chat now, which is cool. I can't tell how many people have actually joined though, which kind of sucks. But let me know as I'm talking here, and just kind of, we're going to get started shortly here because it's almost 7:30. I'm a pretty punctual individual. Let me know in the comment feed if there's any issues surrounding sound at all, in particular, if you can't hear me, because that's going to be kind of critical that you can actually hear what I'm saying, else I don't think this is going to be very value-added, a very value-added experience. So I was joking with the crypto bull goddess that I'm hoping, being realistic here for my first live stream of what I anticipate being many down the road, and this will be funny kind of looking back on things. Thank you, Drew. I said that realistically what I'm hoping for, come on, 10 viewers. I want to interact with 10 people here. I just want 10 people on the live stream, all right? So I've seen... the bigger channels that do live streams and they have 100,000, 200,000 subscribers, they have a couple thousand people showing up. So I'm saying, all right, well, I got a little over 1,000 subscribers to this channel. So if I can just get 10 people to show up, that would be pretty epic for me personally. So great. It looks like everybody can hear me fine. So for those that are punctual and are here on time, let me see if this thing's going to stretch. I don't know if you have an adult beverage on you, but all right. For our first, I have a mini fridge in my office. It's pretty epic, right? So for the first live streaming event to the first ChartMania, cheers everybody. This is barely a beer. It's Michelob Ultra. I'm not endorsing it, but it is what it is. I'm going light on the beer, but we're going to go big on the gains today with charting. So cheers everybody. Thanks for joining. So, with that being said, I guess let's kick off ChartMania. So, welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, as always, and definitely appreciate you coming in this evening for an event that's all about you. I mean, I'm going to be charting anything that you'd like. based on your comments in the feed. We can chart any cryptocurrency you'd like to look at, and I'll take an honest, as I always do, unemotional look at the charts and kind of tell you what I'm seeing. I think that the thing for me that would be most interesting is if you guys have cryptocurrency projects you'd like me to chart that I've never looked at before. So I'm really hoping some interesting calls come up. I know some people on Twitter were interacting with me, asking me to chart this or that. I wasn't looking to take feedback coming into the event. I actually just want to take all the feedback in the event itself. So I know there were some requests out there, but I'm going to stick to whatever you guys would like me to chart. Cheers to everybody. Hey, I see a free cheers. Say salute. By the way, if you don't know, I know I was advertising this quite a bit. My brother and I did do our first podcast yesterday, Crypto Bros episode, and I knew it would go well because, like I had mentioned to you guys, if you're paying attention on Twitter, again, you can follow me if you're not. Here is my profile on Twitter. But there's a little bit of lag. I'm seeing a little bit of lag here between the live stream and actually what's going on here, which is pretty funny. But my brother and I, we had our first premiere episode of the Crypto Bros podcast yesterday, and it went so well that we were shooting the shit for a total of 4 hours. No, the podcast is not going to be 4 hours. But just between the actual recording of the podcast and just talking, we were up pretty late last night. So I did not have time to edit that podcast, but I am looking to get it out ASAP. I'd like to ideally get it out tomorrow. If I don't get it out tomorrow, it'll definitely be out by Saturday. I'll make it a priority. But really looking forward to releasing the Crypto Bros premiere podcast episode numero uno tomorrow. So, but this is all about ChartMania. And I was really, really, really looking forward to this event very, very much to chart. Yeah, I see them already popping up in the comments here. So I'm looking forward to getting into things right away here and just starting to chart whatever you guys would like. So what I wanted to do real quick before I start charting all the requests that are going to come in here, and I see a few of them, I'm going to really quickly start off just taking a look at Bitcoin real quick. I just wanted to share my view on Bitcoin with you guys and kind of talk about a few things related to what I'm seeing in the charts, and then we can get right into your requests. And then there were also a couple other charts I wanted to comment on as well. So this view here, now I've shared this before. Let me get myself up here. Okay. So I've shared this before. It's going to take me a little bit to get used to navigating with this. Where are we at here? Give me a second here. Okay, here we go. Okay, great. I just wanted to be able to see the comments so I'm able to interact with you guys. So this is a chart that should look very familiar to you if you are following my content on Twitter, okay? And what let's just forget about all these price indicators down here for a second. Let's just focus on price action. So what I really stress, you guys know this, what I really stress on my channel is to zoom out, right? The fact is most investors in this space will maximize their investment potential if they dollar cost average, okay? If you think you can get into this market and start day trading it, 99% of you guys and girls will lose the shirt off your back because there's just so much volatility within the cryptocurrency space and that much more so over the stock market, you know? So you're competing against bots, algorithms, and other professional traders out there, and it's real easy to lose day trading, right? So my content, my channel has never been about day trading. I rarely even do shorter term swing plays. I'm more of a longer term horizon investor that looks to dollar cost average in at price levels that make the most sense utilizing my TA skills. Okay, and that's what I'm bringing to you today. So this chart here that we took a look at, might have shown it on a video as well. I'm pretty sure it was on my last TA video, but I had this on Twitter. Is the important thing to keep in mind with these arrows that are being drawn here. Look at what's going on here. This whole blue arrow here, these green circles, right, and the blue circles. All this is showing is a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, and then at the point I had projected we might enter a box within this area, and look what happened eventually. Because I drew this way back here at the end of August, and look what happened. We came down here, right? So what I'm fully anticipating at this point, let's get this out of the way. We came down here, right? So technically we just created our third. We created our third. We created our third higher low. All right. So this is the basic premise within a trend reversal. Okay. We all know how we felt back here. We had all this bullshit going on with the Wyckoff accumulation and all these clickbait videos out there to feed into your emotions, right? Emotion is a money killer, right? But as you know, and as you're fully aware, because I've stated this many, many times, I said the $30,000 area would be the bottom. And since then, when we bottomed between 28,600 and 30,000, we have formed all of these higher highs and higher lows. So I am expecting continued movement to the upside going into the end of September and in particular October. And following the bullish thesis I have in terms of an overall market cycle, I am fully anticipating at this point my main thesis that I've been consistent in communicating is that we will have a blow off top in Bitcoin in the fourth quarter of this year. I don't know that it's going to happen as early as October with the way the charts have set out. I would say more November, December, right? I've been saying sweet spot the middle of November. So I still believe that, and altcoins will top, in a similar nature around where Bitcoin tops. So right now, there's nothing that's concerning to me. Now, as we go through and I start charting, and I'm going to take requests now, as I'm going through and I'm charting, let me know if something isn't making sense, if what I'm communicating to you isn't clear, because I really pride myself on being able to take technical concepts and conveying them in layman's terms to non-technical audience so they can understand what it is, that I'm looking at and how I'm interpreting price data, okay? And again, this ChartMania is all about technical analysis. We're not getting into a fundamental analysis discussion about Bitcoin, HBAR, XRP, or whatever. That's not what this channel is for. Well, I shouldn't say that's not what this channel is for. That's not what this live streaming event is for. And so we're just going to stick to the technicals. One key thing to keep in mind as I start drawing out price patterns for you and speak to moving averages and price indicators, I'm always going to use red lines as lines of resistance and green lines as areas of support. Okay, it's consistent with how I chart on Twitter, right? So a lot of that stuff, if you've been following me for a while, should look very familiar. So that's really all my comments on Bitcoin. I have no concerns over Bitcoin the current price action that's going on. I mean, I just tweeted out today, you got to be kidding me if you think that we're not going to hit new all-time highs this year with altcoins running the way they are and creating new all-time highs, see HBAR. So, and one is shortly behind, and I expect it to exceed 23 cents in the short term here. So with that being said, let me get to your questions. So I just have a basic chart set up right now. I have price movements here with 4 major moving averages. These are very basic moving averages that every chartist looks at. Okay, this is a 10 simple moving average in blue. This is a 20 simple moving average here in the yellow color. I'll expand this so you can see it, the yellow color. 50 simple moving average is in purple. The pink line is the 200 simple moving average. And then the main price indicators, I look at several pricing indicators, but the three main that I really focus on would be your MACD, your RSI, and your Stochastic Rsi. Those are the really three I focus on. Sometimes you have seen me use other price indicators on Twitter, but these are the main ones I'm really going to focus on for the most part as we go along here. So in chronological order, I'm going to start taking some charting questions here. By the way, if you could please, it looks like, hey, I hit my target. Thank you, everybody. I don't know if you were here at the beginning, but I said I wanted to have 10 people here during this live stream. I'm at 12, so I've exceeded what I was hoping for by 20%. One dropped off, so we're at 11. So hopefully we can keep that number. So with that being said, also there's 11 people watching. There's only 4 likes. If you want to help out that YouTube algorithm, please at least hit the like button. Drop a comment as well. Drop a comment. I appreciate engagement. Let me know how this live stream went at the conclusion. I'm anticipating this to go, ending sometime between 8:30 and 9. Just depends on the interaction level here. So let's start charting. So the very first chart that is being requested, this is not surprising since I am a fellow H-barbarian. Let's talk H-bar. So if you guys are interested in H-bar, I have several charts. I already have this one pre-populated, so I'm not going to pull it up there. Let me pull up H-bar for you. I wanted to speak to a few things on H-bar. So let's pull this chart up. Let's pull up this chart. And let's pull up this chart. I wanted to speak to relativities because I know a lot of people really struggle with how to interpret some of this stuff. So, okay, here we go. So let's get into the USD value. The first thing to understand, and I should turn this, well, I'll explain why first. So this was a giant rounding bottom, right? This is price action. Let's just look at price action. This is H-bar USD, okay? And this is on the Binance exchange. What you can see, this is daily price action. This green ovular shape here is showing a rounding bottom. This was our prior all-time high, and this was around 46 cents. Now, anytime that we break resistance and stay above it, what does it turn into? Anybody? When resistance is broken, what does it turn into? It turns into support. So this prior red line should really turn into a green line because now we are above our prior all-time high, which was a major area of resistance, right? We went all the way up to 46 cents. For those that were here, it was a pretty exciting time back in March, very exciting time. Since then, we've been consolidating. A lot of saltiness in the market. We've been consolidating since then. And we came up, we broke right through 46 cents. We hit a high of nearly 60 cents. And now we're just coming down. And this is actually very bullish because what's going on is we've back-tested this area. And for the moment, it's very bullish that we've come down, we've back-tested this 46 cents and are holding it currently as support. Now, the only thing I don't like to see, again, being unemotional about this and just looking at the candlestick formations, this daily candlestick is very bearish. So it's quite possible we could come down. We certainly could come down and touch maybe the 10 simple moving average, which looks like it's going to come up to about 41 cents. The 20 SMA might come up to around the 35 cent area. So it's possible that we could break back below 46 cents into the 35 to 41 cent area range. But the more that we sustain price levels at or above our prior all-time high of 46 cents is very, very, very bullish. Thank you to everyone who's joining. I see I'm at 15. So guys, I'd really appreciate it. We're up to 12 likes. Thank you very much. So if we can get that up to 15, drop a comment in here. I appreciate engagement. It's going to help me moving forward to get more content out like this moving forward. So, like I said, things are looking very good right now. I'm liking the price action. We got a golden cross right here. The 50 simple moving average, this purple line, crossed above the 200 SMA. Very, very bullish. The only thing I don't like about this chart right now is this candlestick formation that's about to close today. So let's see what happens. We could come down to the 35 to 41 cent area. one last time, the more we stay at or above 46 cents, our prior all-time high, it's very, very bullish and setting up for more upside. So that's what I would say on the USD chart. The other thing that I saw out here, which is a general question, I think I saw somebody ask a question, why do you prefer moving averages over exponential moving averages? This is a very good question, TL. Thank you for asking that question. There's a big difference between moving averages and exponential moving averages. So let me explain high level what the difference is. A simple moving average is literally taking a straight average. Okay, you have in the case. Let's look at a 10 SMA. Okay, all it's doing is taking the prior 10 days worth of price action and it's averaging it to come up with a dot on this line here that's being formed. Okay, that's all that's going on. It's just a straight average. The exponential moving average, what it does is it places more weight on more recent price action. So the more recent price action weighs more heavily in terms of what is being calculated within that exponential moving average line. Okay, I do use both. But I have a tendency most of the time to use simple moving averages. I don't think there's any wrong or right way to view it in terms of which you prefer. I think that you could justify using any depending upon, the chart you're looking at, patterns you're looking at, and whichever sort of fits the chart you're looking at best. I don't think there's no right answer to that. So that's a very good question. I just tend to use simple moving averages more often. Two other things I wanted a quick hit on this for H bar. Okay. One of the things I've really hammered home on, it's very common to use the Bitcoin relativity charts or Satoshi charts to chart, okay? Meaning it's very common to chart a USD crypto value versus Bitcoin. You see a lot of people out there that have HBAR BTC charts or XRP BTC charts or Ethereum BTC charts, okay? And all that's doing, and it's important to keep this in mind, anytime I talk about a relativity chart, this chart is very different than this chart. And a lot of people really they fail to grasp that. And I think it has something to do with fractions. We're either left-brained or right-brained, right? And so if we didn't understand fractions in elementary school, and we kind of struggled with that, or even later in life, it's hard conceptually to understand what's going on. When we plot a USD chart value, this is the x-axis here, this is called the x-axis, okay, on the bottom here, this horizontal line. It's always going to be a time frame, okay? You come here, it's always a time frame, all right? This vertical, this is the y-axis, okay? This vertical line here, this is different on a USD chart than a relativity chart. What is on the right-hand side here? The USD chart is always going to be the value of what you're plotting in United States dollars. Okay, H bar right now is sitting at, look, 47.5 cents. Okay, let me get that off. 47.5 cents is where it's sitting right now. Okay, so all of these values are in USD. When we start going up towards $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, and if we do hit $9, I'm going to be getting that tattoo. This is what the value over here represents. What does this represent, though? What do these values on the y-axis represent? Well, the values here are not USD values. It's literally H bar divided by BTC. It's a ratio or a fraction. So hypothetically, okay, this value would be 1 if H bar was $47,000 and Bitcoin was $47,000, right? 47,000 divided by 47,000 is 1, right? But obviously H bar's USD value is much smaller than Bitcoin's USD value, and that's why these values are so teeny tiny, all right? It's not market capitalization. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about market capitalization. We're literally just talking about the USD value of the token, okay? Now, this chart is expressing a tremendous amount of strength. Okay, we have a rounding bottom. I called this a cup and handle. We had a little, let me draw this out for you. So what was essentially going on, okay, cup, okay, handle, consolidation, frustration, saltiness, everybody's getting salty, and then a breakout, right? We broke above our prior all-time high. We almost hit the 1.618 fib extension up here. We've since come back tested what is now a green area. All this is a green area of support. It was resistance. And now I expect further upside, okay? So this is a very bullish chart. So the question is, why do I not prefer looking at this chart versus this chart? Why am I saying to everybody in the community, this is the chart that interests me This is the chart that interests me most, the H-bar Matic chart. Because one of the challenging things with this chart is, as bullish as it is that we've broken out and entered price discovery on the H-bar BTC pairing, just like we've done over here, once you enter price discovery, there's nothing to chart against. There's no price data. All we can use are things called Fibonacci extensions, which is anyone's educated guess in terms of how high it's going to go, all right? So while it's very bullish, I, as a technical analyst, have no prior price data to say areas of resistance up here that we could battle with. Now, if we flip over to the H-bar Matic chart, the beautiful thing about this is there is prior price data, just like there was over here. We have not entered price discovery. And so what I can do as a technician, this is on a 5-day view, what I can do as a technician, I can use all these red lines, okay? I can use all these red lines, which were, it's price confluence, okay? They were either areas of resistance or support, okay? And right now they're all red because we're below them and they're a ceiling, they're an area of resistance, okay? So what I can do as a technician is I can make a more informed and well-educated decision in terms of where H-bar might go and might face resistance on this chart versus this chart, because there's no price data again up here. So for me personally, when I'm talking about how high I think H-bar could go or where it's going next, this is going to provide a very huge indicator for me. Check this out. This is on a 5-day chart. Let's put it on a 1-day chart. Look at all of the price confluence up here. Look at, once we broke below this line, okay? Once we broke below this line, look at the, I'm not a good drawer, right? Once we broke below this line, look at how many times we battled. We hit it here, 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 here. It's going to be a major area of resistance, this 1.0. So again, this is a relativity chart, right? It's H-bar divided by Matic. All these are ratios, they're fractions. The scary thing in mathematics, they're fractions. So what this is telling me is eventually it's very possible that we could come all the way up to this 1.0 area and face a major point of resistance. So if Matic was at $3 and H-bar was making a massive run, we could expect resistance at $3. So I like having this chart as an area of being able to use price confluence. Once we start getting to higher levels, I can plot against prior areas of resistance and support and making a more well-informed decision, okay? Not to mention the fractal that I've posted about on Twitter, that this price action here looks similar to this price action here. So those are my comments on H-bar. I hope that you found that helpful. So let's get to... Just reminded you of your elementary school days. Cheers. Everybody loves fractions, right? 6/7? I don't know what that means. And you know I'm poking fun because, look, there's plenty of things I suck at in life, all right? It's just I happen to be good with math. Everybody has strengths and weaknesses, right? I'm very good with math. I suck at a lot of other things. So this isn't to make you feel bad if you're not good with fractions. Believe me. Everybody has God-given gifts. Ooh, don't want to get too religious there. Don't want to offend anybody. Everybody has gifts. So let's get back to the chart. That was H-bar. Let's see what price predictions on H-bar, my friend. You need to watch the Holy Crypto Trinity video as well as the H-Barbarians video because that's all in there. So nothing has changed for me personally. It's interesting too because no matter how much I articulate my price projections, people will still tweet things that are inaccurate based on what I've said. Sometimes people hear what they want to hear and they don't actually listen to what people say, which is quite interesting. But pay very close attention to what the word choices I use and watch the Holy Crypto Trinity video first because I specifically speak to those projections as well as many other tokens. And check out the H-Barbarians video because it is an update to that. All right, let's get to, wow, there's a lot of, someone had the audacity to tweet. How many things do you want me to tweet Chris. XLM, Anchor, Amp. Okay, there's somebody else ahead of you here. So, Tel. Okay, so Tel seems to be a popular one. Shanta? Shanta, is that correct? Shanta Danielle? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing names. I probably shouldn't say names. Like I said, some of us have talents in different areas. I can't pronounce names, nor can I remember them ever. Tel. What exchange should I use? Let's see here. What is available? Poloniex is generally always a good one. Oh, that's not available. Tel. Looks like the only thing that's really available is KuCoin on USD. Okay, so this has some good price history. Woo, look at that step function. Well, the first thing I noticed right off the bat is this is one of the most beautiful things. Look at this. High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Whoop. Well, you get the point. Higher high. And now we've been coming down. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Now, one of the first things I like to do so you're going to get inside the mind of Crypto Bull God, which is a scary thought. By the way, if you guys are watching, hey, I'm up to 17 likes. Great. So it looks like everybody has been liking. I was going to say drop a like if you haven't, but I'm at a 100% hit rate. Hey. All right. The first thing I like to do is I like to zoom out. Okay, before I start getting more granular with zoomed up views. So this is a monthly chart. Whoa, not enough price data for that. Let's go to a week. We can use a weekly view. Let's look at the price indicators here. Okay, so one of the things I'm noticing, so this is January. So this is the start of the year here. So ever since January, which coincides with the rest of the market, you can see we've had a massive break to the upside. We opened this weekly candle on January 4th. We opened at too small of a number to read. I don't know what that is. 0002? I don't know. That's a very small number. Or quadruple 02. I don't have my glasses on. Yes, I have glasses. But ever since then, you can see on the weekly view here, the one thing to notice is we have maintained price structure. We have maintained price levels, which is very bullish, above this purple line right here, okay, which is the 50 simple moving average. That's very bullish. None of the 10 SMA or the 20 SMA have crossed below the 50 SMA on a weekly view. That's very bullish. I'm not seeing anything on the weekly view. I don't really see anything too interesting on the price indicators. Let's zoom in on a 3-day. I like looking at the 3-day view. This is very overall bullish structure, though, like I said. So it looks like right now the MACD, so let's look at the price indicators for a second. The MACD has crossed below. Okay, so the blue line has crossed below the orange, which is bearish. It looks like we're attempting to get back above zero and have a positive cross. One thing I am seeing, though, on a bullish note, although we like to see it above 20, the Stochastic RSI has had a bullish cross here. You see that. Now, typically, confirmation is when we get above 20, which we are above on a Stochastic RSI. So you can see the last time, well, actually, it looks like we had a cross here, and it didn't really amount to anything. Yeah. But typically, the Stochastic RSI, there is no, and I've stressed this too, there is no one indicator that's going to tell you all. So these are all, they're all data points that can lead you to form a more well-educated decision. But let's focus on the price action here. I want to take a look at the price action with you. So this is on a 3-day. The first thing to notice is, like I was saying before, on TEL, this is ticker symbol TEL, and we're looking at the KuCoin exchange. So the first thing I would be looking at if I wanted to buy this, okay, again, very bullish. High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. These are what? Stair steps. But after this high, look what happened. We broke that trend, right? We started getting lows. But what I would say, and what does look bullish to me, is if you take a look at this low that we ultimately formed here, take a look at the low here, okay? This is the first thing to note. This low here is lower than this one over here. So we, at this point here in September, we have formed a higher low in relation to here, right? So right here, this low right here, this one is higher than this, okay? Now the other thing to note, and this will probably be easier if I show it in this way, The other thing to take note on this chart, so we have a higher low at the moment, okay? The other thing you want to look for next is a higher high. So we had a low here, a high. A low here. Now I want to see a higher high. Okay, I want to see a higher high. Now let's talk about where we might face areas of resistance. Okay, so I want to see the high get above this 3-day candlestick right here. Okay, and this high here, it looks like, let's draw a line of resistance just to note where this prior high was. Okay, what I want to see, the first thing you want to see from a bullish narrative, okay, we want to get above, and this is resistance, so it's red. We want to get above, this looks like, we're going to call it 3 cents, okay? It's 0.0298, but it's close enough. So I want to get above 3 cents. That's the first thing I'm looking for. Now, we can see 3 cents is an area, look at, price wicks are an expression of volatility. Candle bodies is a lot of times what you want to look for when you're drawing areas of lines of resistance and support, okay? Candle bodies hold much more weight than wicks of volatility, especially the smaller in market cap you go with cryptocurrency projects. So you can see here at this candlestick, look at the candle body on this 3-day, this 3-day, this 3-day. Look at the wick here, candle body right around 3 cents is a major area of price confluence. So what I would say is once we start clearing 3 cents though, to me it looks like what I would look for next, again, this is a 3-day. I think it helps to consolidate price action here and not look at it daily just because this is a much smaller market cap coin. So anytime we can consolidate the price data, okay, it leads to a more well-informed decision, a more credible result. These are things that I've spoken to on my TA videos. So anytime you can consolidate price action more time into one candlestick, that's a good thing from the aspect of making a more informed decision, okay, versus zooming out on, just to make my point here, if we zoomed out on a 4-hour chart, okay, we're not day trading here. So the next area of resistance I personally would look for, without drawing too many lines and going overkill, would be that line right there, and it looks like 5.3 cents. So how did I get that, right? Let's make sure we understand how I'm actually deriving this stuff. This 3-day candle body closed. The body was at essentially 5.3 cents. This one opened at obviously 5.3 cents. So I'm using these bodies as an area of resistance, and then obviously the next area of resistance I would look at would be our all-time high. And our all-time high here looks like it's about 6.5 cents. So we have 3 major areas of resistance on TEL that I personally would be looking for. I mean, we could go overkill. We could start drawing other areas of resistance, like I could draw a line here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to simplify things. Keep things stupid simple, okay? That's one of the things I preach. So the first area of resistance I would look for would be at 3 cents. The next area of resistance I would look for would be about 5.3 cents. And then the next would be the all-time high, which is around 6.5 cents. Once we break 6.5 cents, it is a blue sky breakout, and then it's anybody's guess in terms of where we could go. We could use fib extensions to try to chart that out. So that's what I have for TEL. Let me know if anything did not make sense there. There's a lot more. Thank you. I appreciate the positive feedback there. Thank you, Shanta. Is it Shanta? I'm sorry. I hope I'm not pronouncing your name wrong. Shanta. Thank you very much, Shanta, for the positive feedback. I hope that was helpful. So let's get into the next. Like I said, this is all about you guys, whatever you want me to chart. Let's get into the, okay, dude, Chris, you got all these, okay, you have 5 charts, all right? So here's what we're going to do, my friend. I'm going to speak to the first 2, and then I can come back to you because I want to make sure to get to everyone. So I'm not going to forget about you, Chris. So what I'll do is I'll chart quant. I don't know if I'm going to be able to chart. By the way, I'm going to be interested to see if I could. I was really pissed off because I don't know if anyone saw this, but something screwy happened on TradingView where I was trying to chart quant and the price data got erased. And I don't know why TradingView wasn't picking up prior historical data, so I couldn't chart it. It was very, very frustrating. I actually had things charted out on quant and I lost everything through TradingView. So I don't know what's going on. I'll attempt to pull it up with you and we'll see if I can pull it up. So I'll look at quant, and I already have pre-populated stuff for XLM, so I can take a look at that with you. So let's see if my quant chart is going to pull up, because I already have something up for that. But last I looked, Well, that's screwed up. Oh, this is on Coinbase, though. See, and it had a recent listing on Coinbase. No, there was another exchange this was on. I don't know if it was Binance. Yeah, it was Binance. Because there's not a lot of price data on Coinbase. Yeah, I don't know what. This is pissing me off so much that I couldn't. Let's try Bittrex. Yeah, this. Okay, so I was using the Bittrex. Just so everybody doesn't think I'm full of shit here. Bittrex was the exchange I was using, and I had stuff drawn out here with zones. I had stuff drawn out here, and the price data back here got erased. I don't know what happened. So what I can do for you, Chris, is let me try one last thing, and then I guess we'll use Coinbase. That's the best I can do for you. Let's try KuCoin. Oh, look at that. Well, that's about the same amount of time, though. So let's try Coinbase. So I'm going to chart. So for everybody watching, when I'm charting, one of you guys, Chris, in the live stream here requested Quant, ticker symbol QNT, and we're going to look at this on. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. This actually looks like KuCoin would be the best because it has a little bit more price data. We want as much price data as we can get to make a more informed decision regarding what we're looking at here. So Quant has been a beast. That's no secret. You know, this is one of these projects I wish I had gotten into way back here. I mean, really at the start of the year. The return on this has been pretty nice. So again, kind of high level. I don't know that I can really zoom out anymore on this because there's not a ton of price data. So we're going to keep this on the daily, Chris. So what we're looking at here is a very bullish narrative such that when we broke above this level right here at about $66, okay, that we made in May, look at the high here, the low here, the high here, the low here. What is this again? These are stair steps, okay, higher highs and higher lows. It's the number one most basic thing that you want to see from a bullish narrative when you're evaluating a chart, okay? So low, and then we made another high. So what I mean, technically, yeah, I would just call this the high. I think we're splitting hairs if I call this a high and another low. But so what I want to see ultimately is a low. I would want to see this price level right here, personally. I would want to see this 180. We're going to call this 180. This is an area of support. I don't want to see 180 break. How did I come up with that? And you know, the interesting thing is when you draw a line of support or resistance, the reality is there's no really one specific line. The best thing you can do are really draw zones. I mean, this is around 180. I could put it here. I could put it here. So there's really a zone, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And I like to, a lot of the times, especially because these assets are so volatile, I like to draw zones. That's personally what I like to do. So this whole area approximately here is what I don't want to see the price action go below. Okay, so this is a green area of support. Okay, and it looks like this green area of support, let's come down a little bit. So all I'm doing is I'm looking at the highs within this region here and then the lows right in here. So it looks like this zone is between 190 and 180. So if we do have some sort of a more significant correction here, we're at 365. I don't want to see us go below 180, 190. But right now, when I'm looking at the daily on Quant, this thing looks beautiful. It's maintaining price right now, right at that 10 simple moving average. If I look at the price indicators, to me, the RSI looks very healthy. There's nothing concerning there. If I look at the stochastic RSI, okay, so we've had a cross. We want to see this blue line cross back above the orange. Okay, so nothing bullish on the stochastic RSI telling me that I can expect a trend reversal to the upside. That's suggesting maybe some more consolidation until upside. The MACD, okay, so this is something you want to keep an eye on, Chris. The MACD looks like it's about to cross on the daily. Now, again, no one indicator is going to tell us exactly what's going to go on here, but these price indicators aren't leading me into a bullish thesis. It's leading me into the idea that we could see further consolidation for a little bit until we see further upside. So then the question you'd be asking yourself is, great, okay, so if you think there's going to be some consolidation, where could I expect to buy in? By the way, areas of resistance, once we get up here, I would expect, it's really this whole zone. I would expect this whole zone approximately, okay, this wick here, approximately these bodies here, the all-time high here. I would expect all of that. You can see a touch here, a wick up in here. I would expect all of this to be resistance. So let's color code this correctly. So all of this is going to be resistance, okay? And this looks like you can expect to be battling an area on quant right between, it looks like 390 all the way up to our all-time high of like 430. Looks like, yeah. So 390 to 430, we're going to be battling, okay? But in terms of areas to buy, I mean, we're sitting at the 10 simple moving average. So to me, we've been riding that real nice. We could come down and touch this 20 SMA. Personally, for me, to simplify my life, if I was looking to get in here, I would, you know, if I had a position, I'd scale. It's all about dollar cost averaging. I'd scale some in right here at the 10 simple moving average we're basically sitting at. And then I'd also wait to see if we could come down and maybe entertain levels. Again, these moving averages, this thing's going to continue moving up, right? The moving average isn't going to stand still. So we could expect this moving average to continue moving up. So the next level I'd look to buy in is if we could get some sort of volatile wick or price movement down to this 20 simple moving average right now, which is about $300. So I'd scale in some here. I'd see if I can get in some closer to 300. Hopefully that was helpful, Chris, on quant. All right, so let's see what we got here. Oh, XLM. I told you I would plot XLM for you. Real quick, before I get to the next person here, let's take a look at XLM. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on XLM. You know, XLM, this one is one that, from a technical perspective, I really was liking for most of this year. I would say it's lagging more than I would like. I would say XRP and XLM have both been lagging more than I would have liked to have seen at this point. I do think with both, let me stress, I do think with both, patience is going to pay off, but I think they've both been lagging a little bit more than I would have expected. This is a giant cup, okay? This is on a weekly view, by the way, okay, everybody? This is on a weekly view. This is XLM. This is a humongous cup, okay? Do you see this? The blue line? This is a cup and handle formation, which is a very bullish formation. This is the handle. We've broken out of the handle. Now, I was expecting when we broke out of the handle right here, we'd see stronger price action. We haven't gotten that yet. There's nothing wrong. The chart isn't broken. The formation is not broken. It's just taking a little bit more time to get that continuation to the upside. Why is this a cup and handle? Why do I feel convinced that this is a cup and handle? Well, look at this thing. It came all the way, and again, price wicks are an expression of volatility. But you have all this price action that started here at about 70 cents. We had this huge rounding bottom, and we came right up to the 70-cent area again, okay? It doesn't need to look, it's not about a formation looking perfect. It's a defendable formation that fits whatever the formation is. You want it to be valid. That's the point. There's nothing invalid about this cup and handle. It is a cup and handle. So we've since come down and consolidated in this area right here to form our little handle. And I expect once we break 70 cents to $1, okay, technically on Binance, $1, it wicked up to $1.05, it looks like. Once we break 70 cents to $1, this thing is going to go up to several dollars, in my opinion, okay? So right now, if I was looking to enter XLM, I would be scaling in at these levels. There's no reason not to be scaling in my opinion, at these levels. I don't see anything overly concerning in this chart. I just think that XLM as well as XRP, they tend to be laggards. Okay, so, but once these things move, they move. The MACD is attempting to cross up. The Stochastic Rsi looks like it wants to start curling back up. I have the KST for those familiar, but I'm not going to get into it. It's just another momentum indicator. And the RSI is sort of neutral at these levels. And this thing is sitting right at this 10 to 50 on the weekly. I would be scaling in at these levels. I wouldn't be waiting for lower prices personally, but I have enough XLM. I don't need any more XLM. My bags are packed on that one. So thank you for your questions there. I'll get back to you though. I want to get to some other people and not have you. not consume too much time on you, my friend. But thank you for your questions. I hope that was helpful. Okay, Quant, I already answered. Holy Crypto Trinity. So TL, did you want me to talk to the Holy Crypto Trinity? I don't know if you're just saying Holy Crypto Trinity, TL, or you actually wanted me to chart something. Let me know. I already charted H-bar, but I can talk about one or mana if you'd like me to. Okay, so someone is asking about one. There can be only one. CKB. Sort of like CBG. CKB. MC. 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 Wonder what MC stands for. MC. I'm going to go with Matthew Christopher. All right. MC. CKB. You're asking about CKB. I've never heard of this one. I don't even know what this is. This is great. Oh, wait, is this cake or I don't know what this is. To be honest with you, I have no idea. So this is great because, like I said, I wanted to get coins that I'm not familiar with. So I don't know what CKB is. This doesn't look like it has a ton of price data on Binance. Let's see what else we can get. CKB, US, KuCoin. No, that's not the right one. CKB. Looks like Binance is the only option. Please let me know if this is the incorrect project, but I believe this is what you wanted me to chart, MC. CKB. Not a lot of price data here. Okay, so let's go to the 1 day. What I would say on this chart that I'm looking at here. Okay, so we're definitely getting a bullish turnaround here. We had this all-time high right here. We then had a low. We came up here. This high did not exceed this one. So this is a lower high, a lower low, because this low is lower than this one. This is all bearish. A lower high, right? A lower low. Okay, but look what's going on now. All right, so all lower highs and lower lows, right? But check out what's going on now. Now we're getting a high, a low. We've since come up here to form a new higher high. So there definitely has been a trend reversal on CKB to the upside. It does have some bullish momentum building. I can't really comment on the moving averages because the price data is so immature. There's not so much price data here. Really on this one, I might actually zoom out to a 12 hours. Just not a lot of price data on this, my friend. I can't really use the moving averages. I'm going to be honest with you. There's just not enough. I'm just going to hide this. There's just not enough price data. What I'd like to see, well, first off, like I said, we have a low, a high, a higher low, and now a higher high. I want to see this low right here be maintained. So what I'd like to see, okay, for CKB, what I'd like to see this area right in here. I'd like to see all of this maintained as support. So that's the first thing. If we come down here and we hold this level, so let's say, and especially I'm assuming this is a smaller market cap, if you get some form of volatility, you can see that there's actually a lot of price confluence in this area. Check this out. If we take this over here, you can see that this whole area, we could probably extend it down just a little bit more here. We had all these touches here, a touch here. Once we broke a back above it, it maintained as support, and then we came up. Look at this. We bounced off this area, wicked down, and now we're coming down. For me personally, if I was looking to get into this one, if we came down and found support within this green zone, we're going to call it between 1.4 cents and 1.3 cents. Okay, anything between 1.3 cents and 1.4 cents, I would be a buyer in this zone if it maintained support in here. Another area of, let's see if it's support or resistance at this point that I see. Okay, so this isn't surprising. This looks like an area of resistance to me. You can see We bounced. Once we broke above, now we came back down. We're having trouble. Broke it back above. Yeah, this one's pretty volatile. So I want to see us get back. For me, I want to first see us get back about 1.6 cents. I want to see us get back above there. And then ultimately, the major areas of resistance, once we're back above 1.6 cents, there's going to be resistance right around here at 2 cents. Anywhere between 2 cents to 1.9 cents, you can see resistance, and then ultimately resistance here. So resistance in the 1.9 to 2 cent range. And then ultimately what I would do is I'd be looking, I could tell this one's a volatile one. I would be looking at all of this area right here. This is going to be a major area to break through. Once we break through, we'll be in price discovery. But this is a major area of resistance. Well, no, we're not in price discovery. Sorry, we have all this price action back here. So I want to see us get back above here, which is about 2 cents to 2.3 cents to continue this higher high and higher low action. Once we get back above there, we can zoom back out on the 1 day, and you can see several areas of resistance. I would look at the prior highs. I want to break above that high, 2.5 cents. I want to break back above this high. We're going to call it at 4.2 cents. And then I want to break it back above here, ultimately, which is our all-time high, at about 4.4 cents. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here. I want to get back above this area to continue this bullish narrative and continue higher highs and higher lows, and then ultimately break above 2.5 cents, 4.2 cents, and 4.4 cents. So that is CKB, not CBG, but CKB. I'm dropping live stream viewers. I got to do something to be more exciting. Hopefully I'm keeping everybody's attention. Is everybody awake over here? Absolutely, MC. Anytime. Nervous. What do you mean? I'm not sure what you mean by nervous, but I'm looking for an early. Hey man, anytime, actually man or woman, I don't know, but I'm happy to hear that it sounds like that was helpful. So, is everybody having fun out there? Hopefully I'm not boring you to death. By the way, just a reminder for those people that were not here earlier, we'll be dropping the new episode. I want to close my window so people aren't looking at me. I'm going to be dropping the new podcast episode with my brother very shortly. It's going to take a little bit to edit it because we're talking for quite a bit, so I need to edit out all the stuff that nobody needs to see. So that's going to take me a little bit, but I'm hoping to drop that as early as tomorrow, at latest by Saturday. So it's just going to take me a little bit. Let's see what other questions. There's a lot of other questions here, so let's see what else we got. Oh no, did I miss someone? No, wait, hold on a second. No. MC, I had 2 of them. So I'll check out one because I already have pre-populated charts for one. So let me grab those for you real quick. I love what I'm seeing on One Harmony. I actually thought this one was going to break out before H-bar because it was setting up that way and it didn't. But we're pretty damn close. What you got to understand with one is it's a very volatile asset. Small market cap, it's ranked like somewhere in the 60s. There's something else I want to speak to on one. So this is the one USD value. Let's get this off. This is the one USD value. Let me pull my shining face back up in the comments so that I can interact with everybody. Similar to H-bar, one of the things that you've noticed, hopefully, if you follow me on Twitter, is I pointed out the similarity in price structure between H-bar and one. Do you not recall when I was covering H-bar just a little while ago, I talked about this rounding bottom. This was our prior all-time high, okay? And as you can see here, we literally perfectly tapped just over 23 cents, like 23.3 cents, okay? That's no surprise. Why would price reject off that level? Well, look, this was our prior all-time high. We came up to 23.3 cents. The saltiness in the market was real, but really all that's happening for somebody who's a little bit more experienced and has seen this kind of stuff before. Remember, I've been here for 4 years charting all this stuff. So None of this is surprising. So all we're doing is forming a rounding bottom here, okay? This is price consolidation. What price is attempting to do, what the market makers are attempting to do, everybody that's buying and selling this thing, the bots, the algorithms, they're attempting to create price floors. And the price just needs to sort of reestablish itself, ground itself, and create a new base, right? A new base for higher space, all right? So this is a giant rounding bottom, and what we did is we came up and we hit perfectly off of our prior all-time high. We didn't break. I feel very confident that once price finishes consolidating around this area here, okay, and I can draw some areas of support we could possibly revisit. Once we tap this 23 cents, and this is something that I've communicated many, many times on my podcast as well as my TA videos. Hey, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. The more, in this case, this is resistance, right? The more we pound against the ceiling, what happens? Well, the more likely it's going to break. Just like when this turns into support, once we break above and we flip this to green, we get above here, okay, we break above, and then we come back down, we might back test it and then continue moving up. Well, if price came down and it kept bouncing off an area of support, the support actually doesn't become stronger. The support, the more we keep bouncing off of it, becomes weaker. See Bitcoin in 2018 in the massive descending triangle when it kept bouncing off that $5,800 to $6,200 floor. I was here for that. And you had people going on CNBC saying that it was a strong base and that we were going much higher. All the meanwhile, I was looking at a giant descending triangle saying, no, this looks like it wants to break down. So you have to understand that whether we're talking about resistance or support, the more times that we're hitting it, the weaker it becomes. So in this case, it's very bullish that we've come up. This is actually very bullish, okay? It's very bullish for One Harmony that we've come up and we've hit this 23.3 cents and we've rejected because the third time that we hit this level, I'm fully expecting it to break and we're going to enter price discovery. Now, where could we come down and consolidate to? This is a very volatile asset, okay? So this is going to, for me personally, if I was looking to enter one, I already scaled in. I stopped purchasing USD values a couple months ago until this week. And I looked at one and just said, this is just too attractive. I'm going to exchange some fiat for one. So the fact that we bounced, I knew that once we bounced off back here and consolidated, that eventually once we moved back up here, we would create new all-time highs. So I personally want the opportunity to get in cheap because $1 plus is coming. See the Holy Crypto Trinity video that I made. So areas of support. What I want to do is consolidate price action. Okay, let's turn it into a 3-day. I love the 3-day view. All that, we get more price data in each candlestick. It lends itself to a more credible view, and we do have a lot of price history here. So let's see here. Let's get rid of this rounding bottom for the moment so we can focus on the price action. And what we can see first off, we can see an area of support roughly, oh, that's beautiful. Okay, this is definitely, now it's an area of resistance, unfortunately. Why did I draw the line there? I want everyone to understand this. It's very important. This body right here on this candlestick hit this line. This one bounced off of here. This red candle bounced off of here. Once we broke below, it's resistance. We're below, resistance, 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 okay? We came up, we broke through, okay? Back below this red line, I'm hoping that you're able to see this, guys. Once we broke below this red line, look what's happened, okay? Once we broke below that red line, this candlestick right here is struggling to get back above this area. Again, it's around 17.8 cents, okay? It's important that we're not so specific. Is it CBG, is it 17.7 cents, 17.75 cents, or 17.82 cents? It's 17.8 cents, all right? So it's right around that area. This is going to be an area of resistance. What we want to see is we want to break back above 17.8 cents, okay? We want to get a candle body close above 17.8 cents. Once we do, we're going to be visiting 23.3 and breaking above. So that would have been an area of support, but we broke below. So let's look for another area of support here. Well, to me, another area of support looks right about there. It looks beautiful to me. Actually, we just bounced off of it, so that's funny. Why am I calling this approximately an area of support, okay? Well, we had a candle body close. There's price confluence right here. Candle body close, candle body open, wicked below but stayed above, bounce, close below. Now we're struggling to get back. Look at all this price action right here. We're struggling to get back above this green line. Struggling. Temporarily got back below, burst right back below this green line. This green line is at about 15.6 cents, 15.7 cents. Look where we just bounced off of. 15.56 cents. No, 15.6 cents, okay? So 15.5 cents is going to be an area of support that we want to see hold. If we flip back to the daily, yeah, I mean, look at this. This is beautiful. I charted this on a 3-day, and look at the way we're bouncing off 15.5 cents. Now, I don't want to see us keep bouncing off this 15.5 cents because, again, it could serve as, the more we keep bouncing off of it, it's going to get weak. So I want to see us maintain 15.5 cents. If we start to break 15.5 cents, I would look for something around this 20 simple moving average. And then you can also see there's more price confluence here. I mean, we could go lower. We could really break even as low to me. Oh, absolutely. We could definitely break all in this area here. Look at all of this price confluence. I'm not going to change color to save time, but it should be green. Look at all these wicks going up here, wick here. Look at the wicks to the top of this line, wick. Kind of got above it, wicked below here. This whole zone, this is a whole zone here. If we break 15.5 cents, you could see something wick or get all the way as low as 12 cents to 14 cents. Keep in mind, this is a really good example of volatility. Look at this candlestick. Look at this epic candlestick. I tweeted several weeks ago about making a large one purchase at 5.5 cents because, well, I felt that prices were very suppressed and we'd be going a lot higher. But look at this candlestick right here. Talk about weeding people out and hitting stop losses. Look at this bitch of a candle if you had a stop loss. This 1-day candle opened at 13 cents. It went to a low of 9.5 cents. It went all the way down here. It hit a high of 16.3 cents. So in 1 day, Harmony bounced between 9.4 cents to 16.4 cents. Why did I say do not day trade this market? Okay, if you want to lose the shirt off your back and you really think you can outsmart everyone, I do think I'm a pretty smart individual, okay, based on my occupation, my career. I am not foolish enough. I'm a very humble person. I'm not foolish enough to think I can outsmart everybody else in day trade and be a successful day trader and make a living like that. 99% of people won't be able to do that. You have to take a long-term view of the market when evaluating your investment philosophy. Hey, I see that we're up to 21 watching. Hey, we're at 21 likes. Thank you, everybody. I was about to ask if you could hit the like button, interact with me. I'm taking charting questions. As you know, welcome into ChartMania. I'm only on beer number 1, which is barely a beer. Like I said, light on the beer, but big on the gains today. So welcome in to the first annual live streaming event, ChartMania. There will be many, many more live streaming events moving forward, and this will be comical to look back on years from now. So yeah, this is volatility. This is why you don't want to sit here and get too emotional about things and just continue to scale in. I was scaling in, like I said, I scaled in back here somewhere in the 5.5 cent area, so I was down here. But yeah, so that's what I would speak to in terms of areas of resistance and support we would look for on 1. One last comment on 1, and then we're going to jump to some more charts here for people's questions. This is another relativity chart, and I'm not going to kind of rehash what I said and go back to first principles in terms of what a relativity chart is. I'm just going to speak to the chart itself. This is 1 USD divided by H bar USD, okay? Let me get these lines out of here and explain to you what's going on. This is a very bullish chart. This is not, I will repeat this, this is not a market cap chart. This is literally just taking USD values, dividing them, getting ratios, and here they are. What is going on here? What is depicted in this green line here? This is a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. I fully anticipate, based on fib extensions, to get somewhere up in this 0.8 to 0.9 area. What does that mean? That means that I am expecting, 1, to at least hit a USD value that is somewhere around 80 to 90% of H bar's USD value. So if H bar is at $1, I would anticipate at the time that we hit this level, I would anticipate that one would hit 80 to 90 cents. If H bar is at $5 when this thing went off, I would expect one to be at, what would that put it at? I'm not good with math. I'm an actuary. 80 to 90% of, you get my humor there? I know, I'm not really that funny. You take 80 to 90% of $5 and it puts you at about $4 to $4.50, all right? I know that sounds crazy. I'm not saying we're hitting $4.50. I'm just trying to illustrate the point of what this ratio is telling me. Now, I tweeted out the other day that I took a small position of H bar, okay? And I'll actually disclose the percentage just so you know what I'm talking about. 3.5%, okay? So it was a small, I'm a very large H barbarian, believe me. My bags are packed for that bad boy. But I took 3.5% of my position, okay? It wasn't, you should never, this isn't about flipping coins, okay? I do not take XRP or H bar or one or Bitcoin and just sell everything and go in another coin. It's one of the dumbest things you can do. It is one of the absolute dumbest things that you can do. I took a very small position, because what was happening is, if we look, this is a 2-week chart. If we looked at this candlestick the other day, this was all the way down here. This was all the way right in here. And I said, okay, I've charted this thing out. We're creating higher highs and higher lows. This relativity value is oversold. H bar's running, right? One, we look at this chart. I know we're going to break 23.3 cents, okay? We just tapped it. We come up again, we're going to be breaking this thing. H bar's having its moment. Now, I don't know if I'm 100% correct. I'm not taking 100% of my H bar position or even 10 or 20% of it and trying to flip it in something. I'm taking a small percent. And I sold a very small percent of my H bar based on this chart, and I went into one. I said, I'm going to wait this out. And my bet is that we can at least come somewhere up to here. And what I can do is I can sell my original position that I put into one, okay, scale out of that position. I now have a larger dollar value, okay, because I've made a profit. Let me actually explain this a little bit differently. I want to scale out as the relativity value is higher. If the relativity value is higher, what that is saying is that one's price has appreciated in USD. It's appreciated at a higher rate than H bar, okay? So now I can sell out the same amount of one units that I bought. I can buy H bar and I can buy more of H bar. So now I've increased my H bar position. And again, I do this from time to time in small increments. There are no certainties in life besides living and dying. I could be wrong. I could prove to be wrong. This relativity value could just start to take a downward spiral, and I could be wrong. But my TA hunch, based on what I just explained about higher highs and higher lows, is that we were oversold down here. And based on that, I feel like I could put a small position in one. The relativity value will get higher, at which point I will scale out. I will have more value to purchase. I will have a value to purchase more H bar than what I sold before. And I hope that makes sense. And I did the same thing with Mana, which we can take a look at some point. If anybody wants me to chart Mana, we can take a look, because it was the same thing. The Mana H bar relativity value is way oversold. And again, a very small position I did that with. So thank you for those two questions. Let's move on here. I'm getting lost in the live chat. Let me see if anybody has any. Oh, sorry. I'm getting behind on the live chat here. By the way, thank you everybody who's joining right now. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm real passionate about all of this stuff. So I'll be happy to tell the Crypto Bull Goddess that I have exceeded my 10 viewers. We're up to 27. That's awesome. I'm glad that there's so many people here, and I'm hoping that I'm helping to educate you. Let's see. CVG. What's up, Kayleen? Yeah, we're not getting into any. We're not getting into. Hey, Ncash official has joined the live chat, my friend. Thank you for joining. I did not see you there. Thank you so much. we got to get that podcast going on. So let's chat offline, because I know for me in particular, this month has been a little bit busy. I was gone for a couple weeks, and then I had this event going on, and the event I was most looking forward to was the one yesterday I recorded with my brother. I'd been looking forward to that for months. So I'm watching myself in replay because there's a delay. I look like such a fool. So I've been very busy. I've been very, very busy, but I want to make time to do a podcast episode with you, a video with you. So let's touch base offline through messaging on Twitter like we were, and figure that out. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining the live stream today. Very much appreciated. K-Lopin family. Nice. I got a family on here? Damn. Very nice. Ncash. Somebody wants me to chart Ncash. This is awesome. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but everybody, a lot of people who have been here for a while have a story about some sort of bag they're holding from some sort of coin from 2017 that took a shit and has lost like 99% of its value. Now, thankfully, being the diligent, risk-averse person that I am, I did not put a lot of money in Ncash, but I definitely have some Ncash stored on my ledger. So we can take a look at Ncash, my friend Ricardo. We could take a look at Ncash. I'm just trying to catch up on some of the comments here. Stack, LTX, you need beer number 2. Kayleen, you're a smart woman. Smart lady. Beer number 2. So, actually, this is beer number 2, but the funny thing is, because this is a light beer, this doesn't even qualify. So this, actually, 2 of these qualify as basically 1 beer. So I'm actually technically still on beer number 1. So, cheers, Kayleen. Let's see. Oh, Ncash. Okay, so I'm really slow. The comment on Ncash was not to chart Ncash. Ricardo was commenting that Ncash was on the live stream. Okay, I am really freaking slow. Good to hear. Definitely will once I get some time. That's good to hear. I'm looking forward to doing a podcast with you, my friend. Yep, you've been busy too. We all know how it is, right? Tezos. All right, cool. So let's get back to charting some stuff here. Let me go back up. There's a lot more coming in here. So I'll try to get to a few more here. Okay. Here we go. We're going to keep charting. Is it creepy when I whisper like this? So fun fact about myself, I don't really stay up late. So once it starts getting towards 9 o'clock, I start checking out. It was funny. I was up with my brother last night doing this podcast, and we were shooting the shit forever. I was up until 12 o'clock last night, which is like unheard of for me on a weeknight. But that is as good a rapport as I was telling you about. My brother and I have very good rapport, so you definitely want to check out Crypto Bros once I have time to upload the first episode. All right, back to the charts. So Lloyd has a few here. You have 3. So I'm going to choose your first 2 so I can get to some other folks because because I'm trying to keep this to about 9 o'clock, which we only have about 15 minutes left. So we'll see how that goes because I need to get some sleep this evening. I was up way too late last night. So Trios, huh? Not familiar with the project. Very happy to chart it because I'm not familiar with it. So that makes me even more excited to chart this bad boy. So let's go to Trios. All right. I like when you guys have stuff that I'm not familiar with. Okay, so this is on KuCoin, which, by the way, HBAR just got listed on. How much price data do we have? Okay, so this is on a daily. It looks like there isn't a ton of price data here. Now, the first thing okay, so this is on a daily here. So the first thing I would point out here is I've pointed out with similar other charts, and this isn't surprising because we were very bullish in that first quarter of 2021. What are we seeing here in the price action? Can anybody actually take a look at this and guess what I'm about to say? Right? What do you think I'm about to point out right now? Any guesses? Are you on Binance? As I'm waiting for people to take a guess. Do you have any guesses as to what I'm about to chart right now? The very first thing, if you've been paying attention to any of these charts and haven't been falling asleep on me. I'm not sure what you mean if I'm on Binance, but I do have an account on Binance US. That's how I purchased my H-bar and Harmony. So, cheers. I see that, Kayleen. Cheers. So what I'm about to point out right now, there's a little bit of lag, so I'm assuming people aren't falling asleep. So what's going on right now? Well, we have a high here, a low, a higher high, and a higher low. Higher high, higher low, higher high. So this is our all-time high right here, right? That's very bullish. But then look what was... fuck. Sorry. That wasn't helpful, right? But look what happened after that bullish narrative. What did we start? This is like the frustration I get when I do my TA videos. Sometimes you see me like frustrated with TradingView. It's TradingView. It's not me. What do you see after this blow off top here? Okay. So our all-time high, we're just going to call it. I'm not going to make this perfect. Okay. We're going to say the high was 32 bucks. All right. $32 was the high. What happened after that point? Well, now we have the reverse sort of price action going on, which is bearish. We have a low, a lower high, right? Because this high is lower than this high over here, right? So low, lower high. Then we have another lower low. But now the narrative starts to change, okay? Basic premise in charting. I know I keep repeating myself. After this low here, we definitely don't want to go below this price action right here, okay? Green is support, okay? So after we form this low, check out what's going on. We came up here, we formed a high. Now this low right here, for the time being, this low is higher than this low. Okay, so this is the beginning of a bullish turnaround. Now what we want to see is another high. We don't have to come up here and break this all-time high. We just want to get higher. We want this high right here, this crooked arrow. We want this crooked arrow to be above this high right here, because that would be a higher high, right? So low, high, higher low, higher high. That's what we want to see. So if we're looking at this chart and we are interested in scaling in, what would be a smart approach here? Well, first off, if I was looking to scale in here, I would look potentially for the area to back test right where we crossed here, this 10 SMA and 50 SMA. This to me looks like a very logical area. Price loves, and you can see there's some price confluence all along here. Look at this price confluence right here. So we could even just stay, if we're super bullish, we won't even come down to this 10 and 50 SMA cross right here. We'll just stay right around this 20 SMA. Actually, this price confluence is right around the 20 SMA. So the 20 SMA, right around $7.80. But typically price action likes to revisit moving averages, okay? When price action breaks below a moving average, it comes up to the moving average, and the moving average acts as resistance. Just like areas of resistance. Once we break an area of support, right, it then acts as resistance to try to break above it. The same thing with the moving average. But the fact that we're above it, we now want to see this area. Again, this is on a daily. We want to see this 10 and 50 act as support. For the time being, price action is above the 20 SMA, which is bullish. We might, because there's prior confluence here, we might stay right around this $7.80 area. So for me, I would start to scale in anywhere around $7.80 all the way down here to about $7.30. That's where I'd be scaling in. And the next thing I want to see is a higher high created here. Where could we see areas of resistance? Well, we have our prior all-time high here at $32. I'm talking a little bit hyper right now. I hope I'm not talking too fast. No, we have a prior, obviously once we break $32, it's going to be a blue sky breakout, right? So that's going to be a major area of resistance. We also see major price confluence right here. Why do I say that? The reason this is a red line of resistance right around this area is if we zoom in here, rejected, just about rejected, 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 rejected. You can see all this area here. This is about $24. We're seeing price rejection, okay? So $24 is going to be an area of resistance. The other obvious area of price confluence here would be this area right in here. Look at that. This is going to be price confluence. We bounced all the way. This candlestick bounced up in this area. This candlestick bounced down to here. You can see this is an area of, it was support, and then we broke below. We bounced off here. Once we look at this ugly candlestick here. Could not break above this red zone. Once we broke below, look, tap it. We just about tapped it here. This is a whole area of resistance here in between $16 and $12. So I would expect that to be another area of resistance. So areas of resistance in between 12 and 16, 24, and then our all-time high of 32. Let me real quick, because I haven't looked at the price indicators. Let me real quick look at the price indicators. Okay, this is good to see. So we're seeing a MACD that could potentially cross up. We got a bullish cross here. We got a fake out here. Let's see what happens with this MACD. The Stochastic Rsi looks great. It's above 20. The blue's above the orange, which is great. RSI is about neutral. The other thing I'd keep in mind here that I don't like to see, this is actually some negative no, it's not negative divergence. Sorry. Well, no, a little bit of negative divergence. So I don't like to see this. Look at this RSI is trending down. We had price here. RSI was all the way up here at about 81. And then we got higher. Look at the price action. It got higher here than over here, but the RSI is lower at 74 and 71. So there is some negative divergence in the RSI, which is bearish. I want to see this negative divergence break on the Trias chart. So watch for this downward sloping line to break on the RSI as well. You can plot this on the RSI 14. So hopefully that was helpful. And who was that again? That was Trias. That was for Lloyd. All right, Lloyd has one more, and then we're going to move on to some other folks here. 32 likes. At some point, I had 32 people watching. That's exciting. All right, so the next one, I'm going to chart. I feel like I know this one. ALB, ticker symbol ALBT, okay? Let's see what exchanges are available. Typically, if something's a little older, I like to go for Poloniex because they tend to have, for older coins, they have a lot of older price data. Are you all taking notes? Nice, Encash. Nice. So, fun fact real quick before we chart this. So, something that I've considered doing because a lot of things for me are going to be looking a lot different here in the short term. I've kind of thought about how I wanted to spend some of my time more in the space. And something that I've always loved doing is educating, right? And so I have all sorts of different thoughts. Doing these TA videos is an outlet for me to help educate people. You know, I hope people find it helpful. And hopefully the humor, you know, is not lost on many of you. But it's a gem, eh? It's a gem? All right, cool. Well, I value your opinion, so I take your word for it, and I clearly need to check them out. But one thing I've considered doing is maybe, my thoughts are all over the place, but I've thought about putting out some sort of educational series on charting. So that's just food for thought, maybe putting out some videos, educational courses that you can get on actually just how to do basic charting. So just something I've thought about doing because I've always tutored, did a lot of tutoring way back in the day, thought about becoming a teacher at one point, getting my PhD and teaching in a university in calculus and statistics and all that stuff. So food for thought. So let's see what we got going on here. By the way, for Albit, ALBT, Lloyd, do you want me to use any of these exchanges in particular? Because, I mean, ideally I'd be using the one with most of the price data. I mean, I can go through here. Thanks for the positive feedback, Encash Official. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've seen good courses out there and shitty courses out there. And I know if I did anything like that, I'd put everything I had behind it and really work hard at it. So I feel confident that it could be very value added. Humor is great. Thank you, Timothy. Thanks, man. All right, so let's just pick an exchange here that seems like it has some price data. Okay, so this is Bitfinex. I have a feeling it's all going to be the same. Let's just stick with Bitfinex. Okay, so let's just look at the price data for the moment, and then we can get to the price indicators. Now, clearly, okay, if we look at this thing back in April, what do we have going on here? Again, the most basic thing I look at, we have a high here, a low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low. But look what happens after this point. Once we come down here, once we come down to this 16-cent level, right? This was our bottom, okay? If you got in there, you're feeling pretty good right about now. Now, we're doing the complete opposite. So this thing definitely has had a trend reversal. The moving averages are not very helpful right now, I got to tell you. Let's take off the 50. This is not adding a lot of value because the price data is just too immature. So what's going on here since we hit our low here? A high, a low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low. So the first thing I want to see personally if I'm looking at this, okay, is we have some sort of formation that I just drew that doesn't make any sense based on that arrow. But this right here, okay, this was our prior higher low, this area right in here. I do not want to see prices go below this area, okay? So this area in particular is around, we're going to call it 55 cents. $55 million. $55 billion. No, 55 cents, right? This is what happens. I don't stay up late, okay? It's 9 o'clock. This is late for me, right? I'm an old person. I've always been like this for a long time. I prefer to get up early and go to bed earlier. So, starting to get a little punchy. All right. So this was our bottom here at 55 cents. I don't want to see prices go below 55 cents. What we could see, what happens a lot of times, and what wouldn't surprise me, look at the price confluence. We came here, bounced off, came up, bounced, bounced. Once we broke, back tested a support and moved up. It would not shock me if we got a turn in the market momentarily and things were moving down. It would not surprise me in the slightest, even though things look very bullish right now, I have to say. It wouldn't surprise me to backtest 70 cents. Am I saying that we're going to backtest 70 cents? No, I'm just saying it's an area of price confluence because this was a higher high. We then, once we got below, you can see once we didn't clear this area, it was temporary resistance until we cleared it and back tested it as support and moved up, all right? So it wouldn't surprise me if we hit 70 cents. 70 cents would be a huge buy area if we got anywhere near here for me personally. What you can also see, for the moment, something else I'm seeing, this is a really nice daily candle here. There is also a nice little uptrend starting here. Let's see if we can follow. Look at the bounce. This is about touched here. Right about there. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can. Hold on, gentlemen. Sorry, this takes priority. Hold on a second here. You gotta prioritize effectively in your life, right? Thank you very much. So it would be nice to see this uptrending line hold as an area of support. Also, the 10 simple moving average is above the 20 simple moving average. I'd like to see price levels. You know, I don't know what the market cap is on this thing. I feel like I know this project, but I'm not super familiar with it. But I'd like to see price levels maintain areas above the 10 and 20 simple moving average. Let's just keep it simple. If you're looking to buy in anywhere between the 10 and 20 simple moving average. Right now the 10's at, looks like $1.06. The 20 is at $1.04. But I'm telling you, if we get a temporary downturn in the market, because you know how volatile this space is, if we get anywhere near 70 cents, I would be buying. This is another potential area of support. One more before we move off of this. This right here. This is another area of potential support right there. It looks like, see the bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, bounce here. This is at around 85 cents. So anything in between 85 and 70 cents, I'd be buying the hell out of if it came down here, because this thing has certainly turned around. And I'm also going to look into this one in particular because Ncash is calling this out as a gem. I value his opinions, so Thank you for pointing that out. And I am serious when I say those things, by the way. My community, the community that I interact with, they are the ones that turned me on to one, Harmony. Could not be more thankful that people pointed me in that direction. I did my own research on the project. I liked the technicals. I had a great technical setup, and I started investing in it. And the more I started learning about the fundamentals, the more solid I felt about building a larger position in it that I had originally started. And now I hold a significant amount of Harmony. And it's because of you, the community, that helped me do that. So I do take your words just as serious as hopefully you take mine as well. I value your opinions. Let's see here. So I got to ALBT, something I need to research. We are at 9 o'clock. I'm going to go a little longer just because there's a good amount of interaction here. I was really psyched up for this event, and I want to keep interacting with you guys. So let's keep this going a little bit longer. Plus, I have this second beer here that I'm not even half through. So let's keep this shit rolling. Where are we at here? Sorry, I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. Oh, okay. I see a few people. I see Chris's, is this the same Chris? This is a different, there's two Chris's? I don't know what's going on here. What is happening? There's two Chris's? All right. So there's a few people asking about Tezos, and I hope I'm not, let me just make sure. So I'll be honest with you on Tezos. I'm going to give you my honest opinion on that one, excuse me. I held a larger position in Tezos, and Tezos was a project that began to frustrate the hell out of me. And it was underperforming like everything I held. And I'm a firm believer that if you believe in a project, you really, if you have strong conviction like I have with HBAR, during price consolidation, remain patient, right? And that patience has paid off. But with Tezos, the chart was starting to get frustrating. There were other projects that when I looked at historical rates of return, Tezos was a massive underperformer. So I definitely scaled out I hold a lot less Tezos today than I did before. And that has benefited me so far. I know it's made a large move up recently, but we can take a look at Tezos. I think that's next on the list here. So I don't hold as much Tezos anymore. It just started it's the only coin in my portfolio that I can think of where I did hold a position for a long time and I just said, hey, I'm going to kind of cut my losses here. And, I had a positive. By losses, I don't mean actual losses. I just mean underperformance. And I'm going to get in projects that just historically have been performing better. And so far, that's been a very smart decision, even with the recent price action. I haven't been happy with Tezos. Not happy with Tezos. Now, this is a bullish channel. There's no question about it. The one thing about this is I'm not going to say that there isn't solid market structure here, because there is. This is on a weekly view, okay? And I'm just showing the 10 simple moving average and the 50 simple moving average. And you can see this black line here. Look at how many times we touched. You see touches here, a touch here, a touch here, a touch here. I mean, it certainly seems advantageous to wait for some touches down here, right? And then you can see this channel that's kind of moving up. Missed it here. So we might come up somewhere up here. Where things are going to get really parabolic with Tezos, let me tell you where things are going to get parabolic. I do expect, even though I've, from a technical perspective, I haven't been as crazy about it, I do think that there's a very good chance that we will break this line right here. And once we break that line, that's when things by the end of the year will go very parabolic, and we could go up to, I don't know, we could go up to $30, $40, $50 or whatnot. And then there'll be, obviously a very large 95, 99% correction like all of altcoins in 2022 going into 2023. That's my current belief. Until you tell me otherwise, that's what history suggests. So Tezos right now, what I would say about Tezos is there is bullish structure in this channel here that's being built. This is on a weekly view. Let's see how this, first off, let's see how this weekly candle here prints. Do you see this? This is not a bullish candle, okay? This one right here, I can't draw, but you get my point of what I'm trying to point on. There's a big wick here and a red body, okay? We don't want to see that. We want this to turn green, or at least for this body to be a lot less red than it is. So let's see how the candle body closes for the week. The other thing to be mindful of is this stochastic RSI, which looks like in many cases it has been a good indicator of corrections. Look at this thing. It has just crossed. Now, there is no one indicator that will tell you the direction of price. All we can use is what? Multiple data points to make an informed decision. So one of the price indicators I'm looking at has just crossed, okay? This is a red flag. It's a red flag that we could start to see some consolidation, and maybe we come down to this 10 simple moving average, which would move up. So maybe we come down somewhere in here around in the $4 range, okay? $4 to $5 range. Looks like we're sitting at 670. All right, MACD, no concerns on the MACD. You can see we're green here. Let's look at the actual RSI. How are we looking on the RSI? On the RSI, I have a red line drawn for a reason. Okay, red line looks like typically areas we've capped out at. Look at this 74 area and this 83. You can see, look at this. Why did I draw this on the RSI weekly? When we got up to this area, correction. We got up into this area, this zone, correction. We got up here, correction. Here, a little bit of a fake out. We came down to the 10 SMA and continued to move up, but you can see once we tapped it again, correction. So we haven't hit the 74 to 83 area, especially at the time of the year that we're at. What I could see is a little bit of consolidation. Maybe I could see right now, I don't see any red flags that we're going to get a major drop or anything. I could see a little bit of consolidation on Tezos, depending how this weekly candle prints. Maybe we come down to, let's look at some areas of support here, right? Let's zoom in on a 3-day. Okay, on a 3-day, what are we looking at here? Sorry, I won't sniff in the microphone. That's got to be annoying. Alrighty. Okay, there's definitely some price confluence there. So let's look at areas that we could come back and backtest. All right, first off, why did I draw this line? Well, we peaked over here. There's price confluence right here, correct? Right? We bounced off and rejected. Now, we did break right up here, right? We broke above it temporarily, but look what happens. Look what happens. I was wondering why that wasn't scaling, and I didn't know what was happening there. I didn't have auto scale on. Sorry about that. We did break above this level right here. Look what happens once we close below it. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Got above it, back tested as support. Broke above. Now we broke below this green line, and we couldn't get back above it. We broke above it. Let's see if this $4.42 holds as an area of support. Again, that's an approximate area. If we do get some consolidation, I'd really like to see the area around $4.42 hold as support. You can see this volatile wick right here. We actually did back test it and close above it. Wicks are expressions of volatility, so I could give two shits less if we wick below an area of support. It's all about that candle body close. It's all about that candle body close. And you can see here, I mean, this is very bullish. This is a sign of a trend reversal. This is a thin body and a huge wick. Price does not want to go back below here. There's a lot of demand. Once price went all the way down here, right, it got eaten up. Everybody ate it up. They were hungry. They wanted pizza and fried chicken and French fries. And they ate it up, and then the price went up here. So that's my technical food thought-provoking analysis on Tezos. So I would look for $4.42. Any other areas of resistance, support that I would expect? There is. Look at this zone right here. Okay, there's $4.42 approximately. There's another area of support I would look for. Check this out. Do we want to go up there? Yeah, right about there. So why am I drawing this red, which isn't going to be red? We're going to turn it into green. Why are we turning it green? Because it's support. It's not resistance. We're above it. If you guys are still here, thank you. Apparently 20 of you are watching right now. Now, my math isn't good, but there are 20 people watching right now, and I have 34 likes. So apparently people love me so much that they triple like things and double like things. Thank you so much. I don't have to ask you guys to like the video. You are able to double and triple like things. Now, apparently at some point I had more than 20 people watching, which is pretty great. Why is this an area of support? Well, look, we wicked all the way up. First off, this candlestick wicked up to here. We then had struggles getting up into this area. Once we broke above, okay, couldn't break above. Look, candle body below the green line. Once we broke above that area, it tried to stay above it twice, and then we broke below it, fell to this $4.82 area. Is it $4.40? Sorry, $4.42 area. Broke back above. We tried, look at this price action here. We wicked into this green zone, but then once we broke below, we got right back up into the same area, and it took a lot of effort here. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candlesticks until we broke above on the 7th try. So this whole area, if I wanted to, if personally, which I'm not, but because I'm not as crazy about Tezos as I used to be, even though it does have some good bullish structure here. There's other projects I'm invested in where I feel like my rate of return will be better. If I was looking to scale in, I would look at any area between approximately $5.60 all the way as low as $4.42. So let's round the numbers. $4.40 to $6 to $5.60. Okay, $5.60 to $4.40. It's a lot of cents and dollars there, so hopefully you followed me. I hope that was helpful. There were a few questions on Tezos. Okay, so there's food dialogue going on. Interesting. Let's see here. Cheesecake. Crypto Bull God Hedera NFT. By the way, did anybody see that? I don't think it's an NFT. Somebody made a picture of me, which, by the way, apparently they drew me in with a mustache here, and I appreciate it. But what they were missing was this right here. Okay, I got a little bit of, for some reason I can't grow facial hair, but they were missing this. You know, they should have showed the goatee. The goatee, got a goatee going on, not just the stash. I'm not, what's his name from Magnum PI, right? Not just the stash. Probably dating everybody here. But I got a little bit of the goatee going on too. So, but I was very flattered that someone would do a photo of myself on an article like that. And I didn't have time to read the article ahead of this. I was so busy with work. I actually worked late today and had a pretty busy day. I was a little stressed about getting on this in time. So I will go back and read the article, but that was pretty cool. I may have to create an NFT. I tweeted something about that, though. I was thinking maybe I should create an NFT. And as far as cheesecake is concerned, I have not had cheesecake in a long time. I used to go to the Cheesecake Factory a lot more frequently when I was a lot younger in college. And there's some funny stories with that about my cousin. Maybe you know what? That's a podcast episode. I have to write a note about that. I got to write a note about that. Thank you for bringing up the cheesecake because I do have a story about that. So podcast. See, I jot notes to myself so that I don't forget to mention stuff on my podcast. Podcast cheesecake with Jason. Jason is my cousin who's like another brother to me. So I see people are tuning out, so I don't want to bore you here. So basically, cheesecake I haven't had forever. It wouldn't go over well with my stomach. I'm sure of that with the dairy, and I don't really need to go into that. I'm pretty dairy-free at this point because we all know the issues dairy can cause, although I do love me some wine and cheese. Yes, I am a wine drinker. I am a wine aficionado. And I do like wine. So wine and cheese is good, though. I won't pass that up. All right. So what else do we have going on here? Is there anybody, by the way, is there anybody in the, is there anybody present? This is great. A group viewing for CBG. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there anybody present, and the 15 people who are watching right now, anybody present who has not live chatted, who has a question on a chart or has a question, actually not a question in general, we're keeping this to TA, sorry. Just refilled my glass with wine. Nice. So, funny story. Real quick, Timothy, I don't know if you prefer Tim or Timothy, but Timmy from South Park. The thought, because I really do love wine, the thought went through my head to have a glass of wine doing this podcast, and I just didn't think that would look right. Like I needed a beer, even if it's a light beer, I need a beer. But having a glass of wine for some reason, I was just like, I don't want to have a glass of wine doing a TA video. I would have had a old fashioned or a glass of whiskey. That was the original plan, actually. But I had 2 old fashions last night doing the podcast with my brother, and I did not want to do whiskey again tonight. That's enough. That was enough whiskey for me for the week. So I had whiskey last night. Else I would have had some today. But I almost joined you on the wine there. I was very, very close to having a glass of red wine. I was feeling red wine. Let's see. What other questions do we have? I know I've missed stuff. What do we got? Just saying. And then cash for the H bar. Oh, Patrick. I didn't see this. Oh, no, wait. Shanta says, thanks again, CBG. We appreciate you signing off. Good night. Thank you so much for the interaction, Shanta. Thank you for the kind words. Have a nice night, and thank you for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. Patrick Guy says, just saying thanks again to CBG and Ncash for the H-bar material. These guys are the real deal. Thank you very much. And yes, Ncash does a very nice job. What I would say about him and a few others that I have spoken to on Twitter before and mentioned, I never do that. I never do that unless if I genuinely respect the material that they're doing. Those people are farther and fewer between. So it's a challenge to find genuine people out there that actually know what they're talking about. They have your best interest in mind in trying to help you, and they're also solid technical analysts. And so I do feel that Ncash definitely falls in that category, which is why I'm friends with him on Twitter and why I've mentioned him several times before. I'll comment on a lot of his material as well as a few others because I do respect his material. So thank you for the kind words. CBG and Ncash, the H-bar team. Duncan Trower. Duncan, awesome content, both of you. Much appreciated. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Very much. All right, what else we got here? Chris, thank you, CBG. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, I'm up to 40 likes here. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate that. This is definitely exceeded my expectations. I mean, the reality is, I don't have a ton of followers. I'm not super active. I try to do this as much as time would allow. So for me to even have 10, 15, 20 people showing up to a live stream with 1,000 subscribers, for me is awesome. Like even if it was 5 people who showed up, I'd be having so much fun with this regardless. I appreciate each and every one of you that made time to show up this evening. Okay, so let me go to the most recent chats. And then I want to kind of go to the top because I think I missed a few that I said I'd come back to. So let me first get to... Oh, no, there's a few here. Actually, let me get to Ncash. He has a request. I feel honored. I mean, chart VXV. All right, my friend. You want me to chart VXV? You want a second opinion? I can definitely give you a second opinion. VXV. Ah, shit. VXV. I feel like I should know what this is. Is this, no, wait a second. VX. Ah, that's what I thought. Volatility. I thought it had something to do with volatility. A volatility index. VXV. Chart VXV. I feel like I should get the joke. I thought it had something to do with the volatility index or whatever, but yeah, now I feel silly. I feel like I should know what that means. Sorry. Thank you, Ncash official. I appreciate the positive feedback. I really do. I think in time, I do plan to become a lot more prominent in the space in terms of putting content out. I think I'll have a lot more free time sooner rather than later. So you'll see a lot more content from me. It's crypto, but you might need to chart it on DEX tools. So Ncash, you could educate me. We can take this offline because I only use TradingView and I'm unfamiliar with any other charting software or charting websites. So it definitely sounds like I could learn a thing or two from you in terms of where else to chart. I don't use anything else other than TradingView. I'm not familiar with anything else. So let's take it offline and maybe you can help me out with that because I'm not sure. So I would appreciate that. So I can't do VXV for now. Let's get to, what else we got here? LTX. Ricardo is asking for LTX. I love this. I don't know these tokens. This is great. Well, this is ticker symbol LTX. It's Lattice, but we're going to call it lettuce because that's what stuck out in my head. So let's take a look at lettuce. We're going to chart ahead of lettuce. Clearly, I don't need to go into detail. This is on a daily, by the way. We're just looking at price action. Clear downtrend, right? Clear downtrend. You can see the lower highs, right? Don't need to go into it. But it's pretty obvious to the naked eye. You don't need to be a master technician here. Like Carter B. Worth from CSM Research, who's on CNBC and talked about a head and shoulders for Bitcoin that I called out numerous times and said he should get fired. And they should hire me in his place. Hey! What we can see here is once we made our low here, okay, at approximately 26 cents, we're just going to call it 26 cents, high, low. This low is higher than this low, so it's a higher low. Higher high, higher low. Another high came in. So there's very bullish structure that is being maintained on this chart. I want to see that continue. Okay, so that's the first thing that I want to see continue on this chart. I want to see the bullish momentum continue for the higher highs and higher lows. All right, so the first thing I would do when evaluating this chart, and we'll just stick with the daily given there isn't a lot of price action, let's look for our areas of price confluence. Okay, instead of drawing zones, I'm going to draw some lines here and we can talk about it. So what you can do is you can see there's essentially a zone. So I have two lines drawn here, and it's just going to be quicker this way instead of drawing a zone. But essentially these two lines, what it's formulating for you is a zone of support. And how am I coming up with this zone of support? Beer's getting empty. The time for ChartMania is coming to an end shortly. First off, you can see this line is drawn through a wick here, candle body. Candle body is more significant than wicks. A wick here, right? So that's $1.40 to $1.54. We come over here. Is there any price confluence over here? We almost touched right here, right? Almost touched up. But here, look at all of this price confluence. Rejected, just like me as a teenager with girls. Actually, I was too shy. I would never go up to girls. That was a horrible joke. Is that what they call a dad joke? I think that's what they call a dad joke. Rejected, 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 rejected. And then all of a sudden, we got a green Jesus candle right here. Whoop! And we broke above, and ever since then, we've maintained above that zone. Now, the other area, so this is a major, by the way, in all seriousness, this $1.54 to $1.42 is a major area of support. And when I say support, I just want to make sure I'm being clear with this. I'm not talking about the two lines, okay? Your takeaway is not the two lines of support. Your takeaway is the whole zone in here, okay? That's very important. This whole zone between these 2 points, okay? The other price of confluence that is so glaringly obvious is right here. Look where I drew this. How did I come up with this? And again, we can draw a zone, which I'll get into. I mean, I could extend it down to here. We could wick into there. So how did I come up? Let's not actually do that. It's getting too cute. How did I draw this line of support? Do you see anything here that would lend itself to an area of support and why I might conclude that this would be a strong buy area? Well, we have a candle body here, a candle body here, and then look at the price action. It revisited all this level here, wick, right? Support. And we even came down to it right about here. And ever since then, we've moved up. So I would look for $1.75 as an area of support. The next area right above here that I would personally look to be an area of support would be right. It's not here. Nope. What I would look for is right here. You can see candle body, touch, 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 touch. Just about a touch. Look at all these touches, price confluence. Once we broke above, we back tested. Look at this. Beautiful. Back tested as support, and we've continued moving up. So if I was buying or I was looking to get in, I like using moving averages as well. I would see how price would interact with the 10 simple moving average. Okay, this is on a daily. So I'd wait to interact with the 10 simple moving average. And I'd also look at this $2.26 area. Okay, right around $2.26. And then we have further areas down here if things got very volatile. Let's look at the price indicators. We haven't done that. Things are looking good. MACD's looking beautiful. The RSI is just below 70, which is looking good. Now the only thing I don't like to see, Stochastic Rsi looks good. Do you see anything? Let me ask you a question. Do you see anything with this RSI that looks concerning to you? Anything at all? We'll do a little Jeopardy here. Alex, what is negative divergence? You are correct. Daily double. So, Alex Trebek was the man. So, look at this. Look at this RSI up here. And now look at our RSI right here, right? This RSI is higher than this RSI. But look at price action. This price action is lower than this price action. So as price was moving up, a price indicator expressing strength within the chart is moving down. Price is moving up. Look, price from this point moved up. Price indicator go down. Price go up, price indicator go down. It's a little bit of a negative divergence here. So what I'd like to see is I'd like to see this negative divergence get negated. I'd like to see us break out above 83.55, this area here, because otherwise there is a little bit of a negative divergence here. Nothing overly concerning, but it wouldn't surprise me to see us backtest support around $2.26, maybe even come down to the simple. You can see we touched this 20 simple moving average many times. So we could, this 20 simple moving average might move up to the green line of support at $2.26 before we know it. So I think this $2.26 right above here would be a very key area I'd be looking for, and the 10 simple moving average if I wanted to buy in. So that is LTX. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been live streaming for 2 hours. I'm going to have to call it a night here very soon. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... Thanks. Thank you, everyone. You're giving wine recommendations? Dude, I love this. Tim, chat with me offline on, you can DM me on Twitter. I'd be curious if you have any wine recommendations in all seriousness, because I'm always up for trying new wines. I was in California one time. It was an awesome experience to go to all these different vineyards. Something I'm definitely looking to do again with the Crypto Bull Goddess. Yeah, we can chat offline. So what I'm going to do is, just to give everybody a little bit of a heads up here, I will publish this video. I think what happens is once I'm done streaming, this is actually going to publish automatically. What I will also do, I think I have the capability to do this. I'll go back through the comments, and any charts that you had requested for me to chart that I haven't gotten to this evening, what I'll do is I will go to Twitter and I will specifically chart that out, referencing the person who asked for it on ChartMania. So just like by first name, right? Just by first name. So for instance, I can see someone here asked a question on, Tim, actually it was Timothy. Timothy asked about Dodge. Well, Dodge is definitely going to break out, by the way, my friend. I can chart it for you if you'd like. But, if Timothy wanted me to chart Dodge, I'll just tweet something out and say, per ChartMania, Tim, just getting back to you on not Dodge, Doge. Sorry. Every time I look at that, I think of Dodge. I'm not invested in Doge. Wish I was, though. Wish I had been. I really would be quitting work and doing a podcast with my brother once a week. But I'll get back to you. That's the point. I'll get back to you guys on that. So I hate to call it an evening because I've had so much fun and I really appreciate interacting with everyone. Let me see if there's any non-TA questions that I can quickly address here. If anybody had anything not to chart. Still need to fill your bags, huh? I know that's always the feeling. It's like when you know something's going to take off. I didn't get to Solana, so that's something I'm going to have to come back to. I'll have to tweet it out sometime between Friday and Sunday when I have time, and I will tag people that requested it. I thought I saw a question in here, and I can't find it right now. Someone had asked the frequency of ChartMania. They said something about quarterly, or they had a question. So let me talk. I can't find the question, but yeah, you know what? I see a few more questions I wasn't able to get to. So thank you for everybody's patience, and sorry if you had a question and I couldn't get to it. I think we actually exceeded my expectations in terms of viewers, which is a great thing. And we exceeded my expectations in terms of how long this was actually running. I was thinking like 8:30, 9 o'clock. I've been going for 2 hours now. So, but in terms of, starting to get a little sleepy. In terms of what we can expect moving forward for this event, I'm just kind of taking things as they come. And I would say ChartMania, in the spirit of WrestleMania, which is obviously where I got the name. Like, if you actually look at the logo, it's something from a former WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage on the cover. So I think ChartMania in itself, I'd aim for that to be a annual event. This will be once a year, but that doesn't mean that I can't come up with other live charting events that mimic other wrestling events like, I don't know, like the Royal Rumble or SummerSlam or something. I'm sure I can try to come up with something creative. Because for me personally, I like the ability to be able to interact with you guys live. This has been a lot of fun. Like, I've really enjoyed it. So I like being able to come on here, keep things simplistic, help people out with charting, and to help them to get to see kind of the macro perspective in terms of just keeping things very simple and what I look for. Like when I tweet things out and I'm looking at charts, like what am I looking for and how do I come up with levels of price resistance and support? What's my thought process? And just how simple I keep it. I don't overcomplicate it, So with that being said, I think I am going to formally sign off. Thank you, KT. Okay, so I know who KT is now. Is this? Did you tweet it? Did you comment before? I think that's your first. No. You were on here before. So real quick before I sign off here, I got a buddy on here who. Thank you for showing up. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I have a buddy on here real quick. We'll call him KT since that's his name. So if you don't, outside of here, I'm a very hard worker in the gym. I work super, super hard. I've been doing this all my life. And there's a dude in the gym I really respect who I've gotten to know a little bit more. And he's a pretty big dude. He's pretty strong. And he's the one guy in that gym that will push me. So earlier today, I was doing hanging knee raises with dumbbells. And I was just counting on doing lightweight, and this guy pushed me to do, as he said here, 50 pounds. So we went up to 50 pounds, and we're doing weighted hanging knee raises with 50 pounds between our feet. So that was a lot of fun. So look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I see all the positive feedback here. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I've really appreciated the interaction. I hope you've learned something. And if you have, just continue tuning in because, like I said, this is I'm very early in terms of getting involved in this space, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot more things moving forward and helping a lot more people out. So stay tuned. Thank you for making the first annual ChartMania a success, and we'll talk soon, all right? So until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward, my friends. Cheers. Cheers with an empty